A very good afternoon to all of you. How are you all? Before we begin, let's first talk about some masala news because I like to read newspaper to read some masala what is happening in Tollywood, what is happening in Bollywood. Why do you think Chiranjeevi wants a male child? Have you thought about it? Not Chiranjeevi, his son, for his son, please, I correct myself. Why do you think Chiranjeevi wants a male child for his son? People are telling him that you are an anti feminist, you are a patriarch. There are so many accusations. We will talk about it little later. Another controversial news was there regarding the comment passed by Ranveer Allahabadia. All of you are aware. See, we all have so much of time for this kachara news. Ranveer Allahabadia has passed a comment regarding incest. For those who doesn't know about this controversy, he is talking about sexual relationship in an immoral manner. Having a sexual relationship with a partner is okay, appropriate. He has spoken about sexual relationship with parents. It's immoral. The question is, why such a controversy gets so much of popularity? Apart from these two comments, let's try to look at some of the other popular things that we are having from the past. Have you heard about the Blue Whale Challenge? Have you heard about this game? Today, the children are not very innocent. They are very smart. I remember when you were a child, you might get convinced with 2 rupees chocolate. Somebody will tell you, I will give you mango bite. You will get, okay uncle, you will go to them. Parents will tell, if somebody gives you a biscuit, don't have it. Mother will show you some video, injection is putting in that biscuit or something. We were very innocent. Today's children are very smart. But the question is, even if children are smart in 21st century, how come a video game is making them commit suicide? Few years back, there was a game called as Blue Whale Challenge, in which different tasks are being given to a child and the children were doing it. Take a blade, write your name on your arm. At 4 o'clock, get up, watch a horror movie. Different kind of tasks were being given. The final task is go to the terrace of your building, jump from that building. More than 200 kids have committed a suicide because of Blue Whale Challenge. Are you being curious? How can a child jump from a building on the basis of a video game? On the other hand, let's talk about a big problem which is present in the society. In COVID-19, millions and millions of people have moved into poverty. But at the same time, the owner of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, was able to make billions of dollars. Somebody is moving into poverty. On the other hand, COVID-19 is seen like a very good opportunity to the service sectors. It's a very good opportunity for the e-commerce. Adani, Ambani, Bezos, Amazon owner, All of them have become billionaires. The rich was getting richer, the poor was getting poorer. Why these trends are happening? If you are asking the question why, keep on asking more questions. Going further ahead, look at it. I told you, I love masala. They got married madly in love. After a few years, both of them got up, they woke up and they decided, no, this marriage cannot be possible. How come you are in love with a person so much that you are ready to fight with the whole world? At 1 o'clock in the night, promises are made, no. I will fight for the whole world for you. I will get moon, star, galaxies for you. No, no, you are the moon. I will get the stars for you. After marriage, he didn't even bring 5-star for her. Here, the concept of marriage or the kinship systems are undergoing transformations. They are undergoing some transitions. How come the joint families are moving towards nuclearization of family system? Why there is a higher incidence of divorce rates rising in India today? Basically, I am trying to connect the optional subject with some current affair happenings, and if you come from a sociological background, if your optional is sociology, you will be able to answer these questions why Chiranjeevi wants a male child for his child. You will be able to answer the question that particular comment of incest, sexual relationship with the bloodline is considered as immoral. You will also be able to analyze how come a 14-year-old kid convinces himself to jump from a building or to cut his hand on the basis of a video game. Income inequalities, rising divorces, etc. We will try to analyze that in today's class. A very warm welcome to all of you. My name is Dr. Farhan. In this today's session, I will be dividing the lecture into 3 parts. And whenever you are dealing with anything new, there are 3 fundamental questions that you must try to find answers. Why should I study this subject called as sociology? Why? The answer is not very simple. You cannot come and say it has got a short syllabus, it has got some scoring, toppers were doing. No, the answer to that question is more deep. The second question is, how am I going to study this subject? Are the books going to be sufficient? And the answer is no. I will give you some assignments that you have to go and watch some movies. I will tell you, this weekend you have to watch Okkayokodu movie. Next, I'll say, next week you have an assignment. You have to go and watch the movie Tare Zameen Par. Some are going to be old movies, some are going to be new movies. The preparation for sociology is very interesting. You will learn from AHA web series, you will learn from podcast, newspaper, current affair magazines, etc. We will be talking about the boundary of this subject. And the most important part is, what is sociology? What is this subject all about? Why are we trying to study something that we already know? You know what your society is, isn't it? You know what is caste system, you know what is family, what are your surroundings, then what is the need of studying this subject? So basically, I will be talking to you about some reasons to study. Then I will be speaking to you about what are the book list that you are going to follow. Today's class will be mostly focused on the syllabus of this subject. I will be talking about paper 1 and as well as for paper 2. We'll talk about it. Okay. What is the meaning of society? Basic. First thing. What is the meaning of the word society? What is your society? Anybody who wants to make an attempt? See, first of all, let me tell you one thing. I like to keep my classes interactive. I don't want to take one class which goes in a unidirectional manner. I know all the concepts, but in that interaction, when I am trying to ask you a question, I am expecting some answers back. In that interaction, in that process only, we learn this new subject. So, before we understand what is the syllabus of sociology, what is the meaning of sociology? Please don't say study of society. Please don't say sociology means study of society. It's a wrong definition. Why is it a wrong definition? Because we are trying to understand the society from a long span of time, even before this subject came into existence. Don't you think religion was explaining you what society is? Religion tells you what a society is, how you are supposed to behave as an individual. Religion will tell you in what time of your life what you are supposed to do. If you are a young person, religion will tell you be a student, be a brahmachari. If you are an old age person, religion will tell you about sannyas, renunciation, moksha, etc. The study of society is an old phenomena. Religion was doing that with the help of rules, regulations. The Vedic books, they talk about ashramas. So we are not going to study what religion is telling about society. We will keep that aside. The culture teaches you is very different. Many times it becomes illogical, it becomes irrational as well. For example, don't take the scissor and don't do kach, or else the relatives will fight. Have you heard this? Don't take the scissor in your hand and don't do that kach, or else the relatives will fight. Even if I'm not doing kach, still my relatives are fighting. My uncle is fighting that you didn't reply after blue tick. My aunt tells every day she sends a message. From between the two suns, from between the two mountains, one sun and moon will come. Good morning, good night. The culture is teaching you how a society is, but we are not going to study what a society is according to the culture. Keep that aside. When we apply the religion into practice, it becomes tradition. Even tradition is also trying to explain you what a society is, but we disregard them. There are so many different ways of studying a society. Religion perspective, cultural perspective, traditional perspective. But here we are trying to study the society with a scientific temperament. The meaning of the word sociology is it's a scientific attempt to understand the society. It's a scientific, oh, it's a scientific attempt to understand of society. The definition goes little longer. I will talk about the extended version little later, not now. So the simple definition of sociology is it's a scientific method to understand society, full stop. Now tell me, what is a society? Tell me, what is your society? What will you speak? What comes in your mind as soon as I'm telling the word society? Interaction between people. Very good. What else? What is society for you? If I ask, which society do you belong to? How will you categorize and label it as? Yes? Let's try to understand this term, society. We will talk about your schedule first. I'm going to ask some personal questions. Not very personal, but generally personal question. Let's talk about your schedule. When do you get up in the morning? Sir, you are asking when do I get up? How can I say I get up at 5 o'clock? People will judge me then. Somebody will get up at 4:30, somebody will get at 5:30, 6 o'clock. If you are getting up after 6 o'clock, you sleep more, you need some more rest. If you are a UPSC aspirant, sleeping after 6 o'clock is a sin. So, you get up early in the morning, and after that, what is the first thing that you do after getting up? Not very detailed answer. Don't give me a very detailed. This is how you look. If you are regular, this is how you look. If you started in COVID-19, this is how you are going to look. Here, as soon as you get up in the morning, some part of your day you are going to dedicate toward cultural and traditional practices. Some people will get up and they will give some time in the name of God. Some people will give 1 or 2 minutes to what God is. Some people will give 4 to 5 minutes. Some are talking about cultural and traditional practices. A part has been dedicated towards cultural practices. Then, every photo is not funny. So, after you have dedicated your time, do you get a call from your family in the morning? Mothers are very irritating. Every day they will call in the morning, did you get up? So you are going to say, yes, that is why I have picked up your call. So did you get up? Did you have food? Yeah, like yes. She'll ask the same question. Did you get up? What time did you get up? Did you have food? What did you have in food? Are you going to study? You are going to reply, yes, yes, yes. Then you keep the call. Same thing after dinner, again the mother will give a call, or the father will never call. Mother will only call. So father will not call, mother will call. One time of your day, it has been dedicated as a family system. Each one of you in this class is just playing a drama here. As soon as I come on the stage, I have picked up the pen. I am playing the drama of a teacher. You are playing the drama of a student. In sociology, this is called as dramaturgical approach by Irving Goffman. We will talk about it later, but we are individuals who take different roles in different situations. In the first, when you were dedicating some time towards religion, you were playing the drama of a devotee. Second, when you are getting a call from your mother, you are playing the role of a son or a daughter. Same way, our society is filled with different institutions. There are different systems around which we are surrounded by. For example, all of you are, that is me, all of you are associated to different roles. What is a society? It is a cluster of different sets of institutions. You get up in the morning, dedicate some time to religion, this is a whole different system. Then you get a call from your mother or your parents, you have dedicated some time to your parents. You go to a school, college, institutions, wherever you are associating yourself with education systems. I give you a break. After 1 hour, you will go and have a cup of tea. You were associated with the economic systems. You are reading the newspaper and you are building an opinion about the government. You are reading the editorials and you are a part of political system as well. Here, your peer group, very lovely movie this is. So you are associated to your peer groups, your educational systems, family systems, culture. What is a society? Society is, give me a second. This board is little irritating. What is a society? Society means it's a cluster of institutions. Or do not get confused with the word institutions. There are different systems which are there. Each and every system has got its own rules and regulations. The first system that I was talking to you about was the element of religion. The second system that I have spoken to you about was associated with the family system. The third institution that I have spoken to you about was with the education. Like this, what is a society? It is a cluster of different institutions. At one point of time, you are associated with the economy. Another point, you are associated with polity. Next, you are associated with technology, plus plus. Like how a human organism is a cluster of different organ systems. If we bring all these organ systems together, a human organism is created. You are having central nervous system, skeletal systems, muscular. More than this biology, if I speak, it will become a biology class. In the same way, a society is also a cluster of different sets of institutions. Every institution has got its own rules and regulations. In the name of those rules and regulations, you will be given an identity. Such as, if you are associated with the education system, somebody will take the role as a student, somebody will take the role as a professor. If you are dedicated with the family system, you will be taking the role of a son, a daughter, or a spouse or a parent. Everybody is taking those roles. And if you break those roles, society will not let you do it. If you do it for a temporary time, people will find it funny. Has it ever happened that you are trying to imitate how your father is? Have you done that? Trying to do the imitation of your father? Trying to do imitation like your cousins or siblings? You are breaking your role, that is why people are finding it funny. Here, Ranveer Allahabadiya has broken the norms of those family as an institution. That is why people are raising voices against it. It's the rules and regulations where the religion has created, and you are regarded to be as a devotee or you will be called as a pandit. In the same way, economy will label you as a buyer or it will call you as a seller. Somebody is buying something, somebody is selling something. The polity is telling you, you will be regarded to be as a civilian. you will be considered as a citizen of this country. It's the political spectrum which is giving you that identity. You are 18 plus, now you are supposed to vote. Same goes, technology has also given you an identity and you are called as a user of those platforms. That is why every website will say, what are you? They will give that user ID. What is your user ID for Instagram? What is your user ID for your Snapchat? It's an identity what that field is giving you. So a society is a cluster of all these institutions. And what is sociology? We study these institutions. Simple. Okay. Let's look into the syllabus of sociology, which is directly for 500 marks. The paper has been divided into two segments. Paper 1 and then you are having paper 2. UPSC knows for a fact that the people who are going to come and study this subject will not be having a sociological background. So they have made the syllabus in such a way, let's first talk about basic fundamentals. Let's talk about the elementary level of sociology. So the first subject is called to be as fundamentals of sociology. The first paper is called as fundamentals of sociology. We will be discussing about the ABCD. What are the do's, what are the don'ts, what are the simple definitions, and then we will try to build that subject matter around it. We will talk about the syllabus. This particular paper 1, it has got 10 units. What are these 10 units? We will take a look. And the second paper is regarding Indian sociology. Same way, whenever you are dealing with a subject, they will have two versions of it. One will be a global version, the another one will be an Indian version. What is physical geography? It's a global version. How the climatic conditions are shaped, what is oceanography, what is air, etc. We are studying the geography at a world level. Same way, how geography is dealt at world level, India level, history is dealt at world level, India level, sociology is also dealt in same manner. Paper 1 is like a global sociology, world sociology. Indian perspectives will not be built here. We will be talking about Western people, Western philosophers, European contributions, etc. But when you come to paper 2, every person will be an Indian background. They are going to speak about what is caste system, what is joint families, what are the issues in urban societies, rural societies, why India's population is rising. Why India's population is rising? COVID came, lockdown came, no? Population will increase. What will happen in lockdown? Here, paper 1 and paper 2 are two different parts, but they both are highly interconnected to one another. If you personally ask me, I would put their boundaries somewhere like 65% and 35%. And don't think these boundaries will be respected by the panel. No, they don't respect this panel. They don't respect these boundaries. The paper 1, first 2 questions were completely from paper 2. Go and read last year question paper, which came 4-5 months back. What do you think about caste system as a status group? Completely paper 2 topic. They asked in paper 1. How do you see Indian marriages are becoming from ritual to commercial? They are asking Indian marriages are becoming ritual to commercial. Easy question. But they asked in paper 1. In paper 2, they asked the question, what do you understand by Durkheim's suicide? It's a completely paper 1 topic. So please don't think these boundaries are there in reality. It is only UPSC wants to ask you questions for 6 hours. UPSC wants to ask you questions for 250, 500 marks, 6 hours. That is why they divided into paper 1 and paper 2. In reality, these boundaries are not existing. And what are we having in our paper 2? We are having 3 parts to it. A, B and C. What are these 3 parts? Let's try and understand. Keep the pen paper, have a short notes, something like that, because I will not be dictating anything in today's class. So watch it like a movie or okay, we'll use this. See, I will be discussing all the 10 units of paper 1, one after the another, to give you a good idea of what is the syllabus. I will also be discussing paper 2 A, B and C as well in today's class. The first unit that we are having is sociology as the discipline. Whenever something new begins, we always want some history of it. If I don't tell you some historical past, you cannot understand what is happening today. For example, you are very new to this book called as Indian polity, Indian constitution. I don't know what is constitution. So how is the book starting? It first talks to you about some history. If I give you a history, you will be able to put some dots, and then giving a historical explanation, you will be able to connect those dots. History is like some story which connects the past with the present. And the unit 1 is also a form of a historical explanation of what is happening in Europe, which led to the emergence of sociology. Sociology is an arts subject, and it is called as the youngest social science. In the field of arts, different subjects have come, such as philosophy, linguistic, history, economics, political science, blah blah blah. In all these lists, sociology is regarded as one of the youngest social sciences. Only 130, 120 years back the subject came into existence. Before that, there was no subject called as sociology. One reason why the syllabus is short is also because it is a newly established subject. And here the title reads, I want you to read the title like this: Sociology as an academic discipline, historical scenes. And the first part that we are having is Europe witnesses a large level of modernity. Today, you don't realize what is modernity. I'm sorry, but we don't realize what is modernity because we have not seen the contrast from traditional to modernity times. Modernity means religion is going away, something else is exchanging. Modernity means family structures are changing. You have seen the modernity in economic systems. Very good. In your conscious mind, you have seen how digitalization of economic systems have come. Have you seen that? Slowly, slowly. UPIs, Google Pay. In 2017-18, you were telling nobody will use UPI. But slowly, are you noticing? Maybe for a 2 rupee transaction to buy sweetie from a pan shop. I don't buy sweetie, you buy. To buy a sweetie from a pan shop, you will take 2 rupees from your Google Pay and you will give it. Europe was undergoing some modernity in the case of 19th century. This unit is designed for the 19th century times. 150 years back. So Europe was undergoing some modernity, and due to that modernity, there were different changes in Europe. So many changes had come. What were those changes? We'll talk later. Not now. But political changes, economic changes, the kinship was falling, religion was changing, modernity and social changes came up in Europe, and that led to the emergence of sociology. In 19th century, they are asking a question, how did all these changes come? Who brought these changes? Where are we heading towards? There were different whats, whys, hows, etc. To answer these questions, it led to the birth of sociology or the emergence of sociology. And once a subject has come into existence, now people will ask, what is the reason behind your coming? What are you going to do? As an academic subject, we will be defining the purpose of this subject or the scope. And then, whenever something new comes, people will start comparing it with one another. Parents will compare you to your cousins. Look at that person, this much marks they have got in 10th class. Look at that person, he has got such a good job. What are you doing? Preparing for civil services. Don't prepare. Family will not support you. 1 year they will support you. First year they will support you. After that, comparison will keep on starting. Sociology is being compared to the other social sciences. Compare sociology with psychology. If sociology is about understanding of an individual, psychology is also about understanding of an individual. So here in the part B, again there are two parts: scope of the subject and comparison with other social sciences. And then when you deal with this subject, many times you are going to realize this subject is like a common sense. The theory doesn't look a great theory. It is like, it is my common understanding regarding a society. Why are we talking common sense in an academic manner? We compare sociology with common sense. Yes, a great deal of this subject is coming from common sense, but every common sense is not sociological sense. So the unit 1, it talks about the historical explanations, how the subject came into existence, the purpose of the subject, comparison with other social sciences, etc. Second, today there is not much of a debate, but in the early 20th century, 1910, 1920, at that time, sociology was having a large number of debates. How do you want to treat this subject like? Is it like physics, chemistry, general science? Or should it be called like economy, polity, social science? The second unit is known as sociology as science. I want you to read this subject as sociology as science or arts. Because this whole unit, it is like a debate which is happening. And I am not going to deal with this unit in the starting classes. This will be the last classes of your paper 1. Why? Because we need to have some good foundational knowledge of the subject to bring these debates. Without foundational understanding, we cannot bring what are they trying to say. So sociology is science is like the theory of all. What are all the theories? Who are the different sociologists who are coming and making their contributions? In the unit 1, there is no theory. It's all history. In unit 2, it's a theoretical part that we are going to talk about. Is sociology a science or it is like an arts? I will put this also in the bracket because this is the way how the syllabus has been written. And then you are having 5 subparts to it. Please don't think the syllabus is long or high. I just want you to get a good idea. The more better you create those boundaries, then you can play nicely in those boundaries. So the first is, what is the meaning of science? And what is the meaning of the word scientific methods? We will try to define what kind of a subject is called as science. What kind of a subject is called as arts. And then the most important chapter is major theoretical strands. In the whole unit 2, the most important is the part B. In fact, if you ask me, sir, which chapter can give me the complete understanding of all the thinkers, it is this particular chapter. I will bring all the thinkers over here. What is Karl Marx? What is Durkheim, Weber, Parson, Merton, Mead, Ritzer, Giddens, etc. All the theories we will try to bring together. It's a very interesting way. We create a flow charts and we go into different parts. And once we have built the major theoretical strands, now comes the most popular method of studying. It is called as positivism. What is positivism? Those people who says sociology is like general studies, physics, chemistry, they are called as positivism. I'm just giving you an overview idea. And those people who says, what kachara is this? It's not GS. It's like a social science. They are called as non-positivists. Those who are telling it is like a general science, they are trying to look at facts. And those who are telling it is not a general science, non-positivist, they are trying to look for value. Please put this commas over here. In the syllabus, commas are not there. So you will read it like fact, value, objectivity. The commas should be there. One group is talking about facts. The second group is talking about values. But both of them are trying to arrive some or the other level of objectivity. Very nice. It's an MA level of topic. Then, whenever you deal something at a theoretical level, what will come after that? Something you have dealt in theories, in bookish knowledge. Now you want to apply that knowledge. You want to apply whatever you have learned in theories in the ground reality. In the field work, the part or the unit 3, it is the practical part of your subject. If somebody has learned all these theories, they want to apply those theories into practice, and therefore their application into practice is called to be as research. And when they have conducted that research, they will also need to analyze it. This unit 3 is called as research analysis and methods. There are two popular ways in which a research is being conducted. One method is called to be as a quantitative method. The another way is called as qualitative method. If you want some superficial knowledge, if you want to talk in the form of numbers, you look at the quantitative aspect. But if you want some in-depth knowledge, analysis, interpretation, we look at qualitative. Two ways of conducting research is there: quantitative method, qualitative method. Imagine I conduct an examination today and I ask you, how many of you think this examination was easy? Raise your hand. 30% will raise their hand. Easy. 70% will raise not easy. One way in which I am getting the data is by superficial method. But if I want in-depth data, what I am going to do, I will sit with each one of you and I will talk to them. I am going to get some in-depth knowledge from you. What do you think about this paper? So two types of research are conducted, and both of these research will have different techniques of data collection. So here, the second part is techniques of data collections are there. So many different techniques are there. Surveys, polls, opinions, interviews, questionnaires, participant observation, case studies, thesis, etc. And then, this word is not there, but read it like a concept. For you to be a good researcher, there are some basic definitions that you must have an idea. If you ask me, I will keep the C first here. Because when something is being introduced to you at a practical level, what are the basic concepts of a research? What is the meaning of the word variable? What is the meaning of the word sampling? What is hypothesis? What is reliability? And what is validity? Some terms are given. You must understand the glossary, the definition of those terms. So, the unit 3 is coming at a practical level. But we are not going to start from unit 1 to 3. This is from where we are going to start our class. I will be talking about the syllabus, but let me tell you from where your paper 1 will begin. I will not be starting from unit 1 to 3. I will be starting from unit 4. So we will follow 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3. That is how we are going to continue. Now, what is the 4th unit all about? There is a famous story called as 7 blind men and elephant. 7 men are there who are blind, who have never seen an elephant in their life. Each one of them will go, the diagram explains, each one of will go and touch the elephant. One person will touch the body of it and he says elephant is like a big wall. Another person will hold the trunk of an elephant and says elephant is like an anaconda. Somebody is holding the tusk, somebody is holding the tail. Everybody is explaining what is an elephant according to their experiences. Is there anybody in this explanation wrong? Absolutely not. He feels the body, he explains what a body is. Somebody holds the tusk, he's explaining elephant is like a hard knocking kind of an animal. But is anybody in them completely right? No. The reason why we are studying thinkers, it is because we want to understand what the society is from different dimensions. Somebody has got one perspective, another group of people will have a whole different perspective. Have you seen when you go out with your 10th friends or college friends on one simple topic, there might be a debate between you and your friend? Have you made an argument with your friend on a topic? Maybe on some philosophy, right-wing approach, left-wing approach, feminism, some ideology, etc. We need different versions, or how different perspectives will able to complete the whole view of society. The unit 4 is called as social thinkers. You say the word thinkers, or you say the word philosophers, or you say the word social scientist, all of them are right. Like how scientist is there in the field of science, philosophers are there in the field of arts. The philosophers of sociology are called as thinkers, and thinkers is not unique to only sociology. No. The thinkers of political science are also there. Have you heard the word Montesquieu, Voltaire, Rousseau, J.S. Mill, John Locke, Hobbes, Machiavelli? All these are thinkers of political science. Have you heard the word Socrates, Aristotle, Plato? These are the thinkers of the field of philosophy. John Maynard Keynes, David Ricardo, Adam Smith, they are the thinkers in the field of economy. Same way, sociology has also got some thinkers. And here, who are these thinkers? The first person, I'm not going to be talking in detail about them, but I will just give you an overall idea, the list. The first thinker always looks at the society in an economic manner, with economic dimension, and this person is Karl Marx. He doesn't seize any other dimension. No racism, no gender, no ethnicities, no religion. The only way in which he has divided the world is into rich and the poor. That is the reason he is very popular. He divided the world into haves and have-nots. And Karl Marx is considered, or he is called as an economic determinist. He thinks from the economic dimensions. Another thinker who is a very optimistic person. No matter what the situation is coming, he is always going to highlight something good is happening here. Is COVID-19 a good thing or a bad thing? What do you see? COVID-19 is a good thing or a bad thing? Bad thing. What do you think? COVID-19 is a good thing or a bad thing? Bad. Nobody wants to say a good thing happened in COVID-19. I was taking bath every day. Yes. In COVID-19, we take bath every day. We were doing hand wash not once, how many times? One soap used to run me for 2 years. Now in 2 weeks, the soap is finishing. I'm just telling, don't think, sir, chichi, what are you, sir? So the thing is, have you seen the hygiene level increased in COVID? It did. Did you get closer to your friends and families? Yes. Boys were doing video calls on Zoom with your old friends. They never want to see them. Now they are sitting bored, eating Maggie and doing video calls. In COVID-19, the scientific temperament was increasing. People criticized coronal. Same Baba Ramdev. He took up a medicine called as coronal. People rejected coronal. They went towards scientific temperament. Hygiene level was increased. Clean air was produced. Pollution was not happening, no. The clean air was being produced. This approach to study a society is called as functional views. Functional view means you will never criticize anything. You will always tell something is good happening. And this perspective is added by the first sociologist known as Emile Durkheim. This guy, Emile Durkheim, was heavily criticized by another sociologist who is telling that if you want to study society, go in depth. Don't study society like physics, chemistry, and general science. You have to go inside the values, the meanings, the motives. Human behavior is very complex. He is popularly known as Max Weber. If somebody has established the subject as a social science in the field of arts, it is basically Max Weber. He is the first teacher. His first classroom was called as German Sociological Association. First time to bring the subject into a university is Max Weber. He studied nicely in public administration as well. He invents the term called as bureaucracy. Today, whenever you are studying bureaucracy, the full term or the full word for that is Weberian bureaucracy. Weber is a popular sociologist. He is known as a phenomenologist or an interpretative sociologist. The fourth person is somebody who brings sociology outside of Europe. Up till here, sociology is always there in Europe. The first person to take it outside of Europe and to popularize it, it is basically Talcott Parson. He is the first American sociologist. So what are his contributions? He has brought B and C together. B and C are always fighting. If you keep them together, they will fight here also. It is Talcott Parson who is trying to resolve the crisis, the debate. And he dominated for nearly 3 to 4 decades. How does Talcott Parson loses his popularity is his student will come and criticize Parson. And criticism is considered as a good thing in sociology. We need criticisms. The more criticism is being added, more dimensions are built to understand the society. Talcott Parson was criticized by his student. His name was Robert Kingsley. You call him R.K. Merton. And then the last thinker, A, B, C, D, E, F. The last thinker that we are having, he is a small contributor. He is not even a sociologist. He's a child psychologist. So the fourth unit, this is the most important unit that you are having in the whole syllabus, and this is from where we are going to start the class. Why are we going to start? Because many people believe that thinkers is the most difficult part. I would say that this is the most interesting part. If you get a good grip on thinkers, you can easily play with the whole paper one. And unit 4 is not restricted to only unit 4. It goes into other units as well. 5, 6, 7. These things will be discussed over there as well. So the fourth is about the social thinkers. Who is this guy? अपरिचितडू. अरे यार ये वो. India is filled with masala. See, we like masala Maggi and masala movies. The fifth unit is how our society is divided. Are we all same? The polity is telling we all are same, but the sociology says we are not same. How are we divided? In numerous different parameters, the distinctions and the divisions are present. The person sitting beside might not be from your village, might not be from your district, might not speak the language that you speak, might not belong to the same caste that you are coming from, might not be having the same class, money criterias. There are so many different types of distinctions. The fifth unit is called as stratification. It means how the society is divided into different stratas. And in some societies, movements are going to be easy. In some societies, the movements are going to be difficult. Any kind of a movement in the stratification is called as movement. It is called as mobility. Mobility means movement. So this particular unit, it talks about how the society is divided. So first of all, we will be looking at some important concepts such as what is the meaning of the word equality and how is it different from the word inequality. What is the meaning of the word hierarchy? Is hierarchy and stratification same? No, they are not. We usually think hierarchy is same as stratification, but there is a slight difference. What is the meaning of social exclusion? Somebody who is not a part of hierarchy is called as socially excluded group. Poverty and deprivation are some other topics. So, first we will be looking at some concepts and then we look at dimensions. What are the different dimensions in which the society is divided? Urban society is divided on the basic concept of money. Is money important? Yes, very important. Don't pay fees for 1 month, then come. The whole urban society is divided. You don't have money, you will not be able to get education. You don't have money, you will not be able to afford health. You don't have money, you cannot get access to basic amenities. One of the most important dimension in which the society is divided is money criteria. Money criteria are called as class criterias. Here class means upper class, middle class, lower class. Another dimension, for a rural society, money is not that important. For a rural society, money is not that important. What is important? Status groups. Status and class are not the same thing. Status means what caste are you belonging to? How much amount of land are you having in the village? Are you there from the completely upper caste? Are you there from the Dvijas and the non-Dvijas? What caste? What is the land holding? What gender do you have? What connections do you have? All these are status groups. But the most important dimension UPSC loves to ask is gender topic. UPSC's favorite topic, this is gender. Every year, 2-3 questions they will ask regarding women issues, gender-based studies, and apart from this, we have a topic called as race and ethnicity. So here, in the dimensions of stratification, we talk about economic criterias, non-economic criterias, sexual criterias, race and ethnicities. Different dimensions are there. And then we will be talking about 2 types of mobilities. Those societies where mobility is possible, they are called as open societies. Can you give me an example of an open society? This. Urban society is an example of an open society. Do hard work, clear civil services, become an IAS officer. Don't do hard work, waste 5 years of your time, and then do something else. You will fall below in the segments. A society in which mobility is easily possible, it is called as an open society. Opposite to that, where it is restricted, example, caste systems. You are born as a Vaishya, you will remain as a Vaishya by the end of your life. If you are born as a Brahmin, whether you like it or you don't like it, you are born as a Dalit, whether you like it or you don't like it, you are stuck in those stratas. Such a system of rigid stratification, it is called as closed systems. So mobilities are seen in 2 types, open and closed, but we are going to see how open is not completely open, closed is not completely closed. Interesting topic, this year's question. Question number 2, part C this year. What is open and closed systems? And then lastly, we will be talking about thinkers. I told you, Unit 4 will not come to its end. It will always come in every unit. Here, the part B talks about what do you mean by stratification according to Durkheim. They don't say the word Durkheim, they say the word functionalist. I told you, Durkheim is also called as a functionalist, second thinker that we just wrote. Who was the third thinker? Max Weber was the third thinker. So what does Weber sees about stratification? We see that as Weberian stratification. Weber's view is called as Weberian view. Gandhi's view is called as Gandhian view. It's like that. Who was the first thinker? Karl Marx. Karl Marx's view is called as Marxist view. So what is stratification according to thinkers? We write it like Marxist view, Weberian view, Durkheim's view together. Durkheim is also referred as functionalist over here. And apart from Durkheim, there are many other functionalists. So unit 5 is all about stratification and mobility, how the distinctions are coming. We are looking at the detailed view of the whole syllabus. Let me just see. These all 10 units, they are not random, but we can put them into three classifications the same way how paper 2 is put in three classifications, A, B, and C. This A, B, C in paper 2 is there, but the ABC of paper 1 is not there in the syllabus directly. Let's try to create such an ABC classification in our paper 1. And here, when you look at the first 3 units, I want you to label it like A. Why? Because the subject is not being introduced to you in 1, 2, 3 and 3. The one talks about the history part. Same way, when you're reading polity and Lakshmikant, the constitution will not start from the first chapter. It will start from the fundamental rights. Initially, you will have some 20-30 pages. Same way, sociology is having some discussion. Unit 1, 2, 3 is like the A part. It talks about the emergence of the subjects or some essential parts. The subject actually starts from unit 4 and 5. I want you to label it like B. Thinkers and stratifications. And this 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. All these are different institutions. How are you supposed to see? Unit 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are different sets of institutions. Same way what we have just seen over here. What is society? It is a set of different institutions. This is what 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th unit is all about. Here, the syllabus will go a little faster. What is the unit 6? It talks about the element of economy and society. How this economic system is changing. We will not be talking about macroeconomics and microeconomics, no. But in the economic system, how the society is shaped. So 3 different types of economic systems has been present: ancient, medieval, modern. The ancient economic system is called as slave society. The medieval systems is called to be as feudal society. Modern is called to be as industrial society. This is there in your syllabus: slave, feudal, industrial. Like how history is divided, economic systems is also divided. And if there is a good control on the economic system, it will be called as formal economic systems. If the control is not good, it will be called as informal economic system. And the third part, it is what is the condition of labor and society. So the 6th unit is different types of economic systems. In ancient it is slave, in medieval feudal, modern industrial. Relationship of government with economy, a very good control of government on the economy is called as formal. If the government is not having a good control, it is called as an unorganized sector, an informal sector. And what is the condition of labor in the society? Labor and society. Like I told you, every unit is talking about different sets of institutions. The unit 7 is about polity and society. What is the meaning of the word polity? So, first, we will be trying to understand the definition of the word power. Here, we are not going to be talking about power star Pavan Kalyan. We will be talking about how power is explained by different other political thinkers. Then we will be looking at some of the institutions, such as what is the meaning of the word political party? What is the meaning of the word pressure group? Civil society, bureaucracy, etc. And then there are some concepts such as what is the meaning of nation, what is the meaning of state. In polity class, this is a very interesting topic, difference between nation and state. What is the meaning of nation? Nation is what? It's a group. No. What is the meaning of nation? Nation is an emotional feeling. Nation is a psychological phenomena. Close your eyes and do this. This is nation. I don't know how will you write this in exam. H is nation. He will also write XXXXXX0. When you watch a match of India with another country, do you feel Indian? When you see a patriotic movie, when you see some patriotic movie, raw agent is there, some fighting, some terrorism, etc. Do you feel Indian while watching a patriotic or nationalistic movie? Yes. This is nation. It's a psychological phenomena. It's an interesting topic, the difference between nation and state. And what are these concepts in the element of democracy? What is the meaning of the term ideology? Have you heard the word right-wing ideology, left-wing ideology? Yes, ma'am. Have you heard the word right-wing ideology, left-wing? What are these? Is it a bird? It's two sets of ideas in political system. Right is not right, left is not wrong. It's just like group A and group B. We talk about ideologies. We will be also talking about the element of citizenship. So, what are some concepts? Nation, state, democracy, ideology, citizenship. Civil society is written in the syllabus here, but I will be discussing in the upper side. So, A, B, C, and then the political system is undergoing some transformations. The only constant thing in this world is change. The only constant thing in this world is change, and political system is also undergoing some changes. How these changes are brought? If it is brought at a smaller level, it is called as protest. If it is brought at a bigger level, it is called as social movements. If the protest becomes little bit violent, it is called to be as agitation. If agitation becomes bigger and more violent, it is called as revolutions. All these are different forms of collective actions. I'm writing all the terms that you are having. So, in the political system, changes are brought by the protest, social movements, agitations, revolutions. All these four terms are collective actions. So, this is a very important unit among the other. So, religion and society. And then you are having the 8th unit, and that is religion and society. So this unit will be little sensitive because we are going to remove the concept of God and keep it aside. Sociology doesn't believe that religion is something from God. Sociology says, or every scientific subject says, religion is a man-made phenomena. Here also, we are going to discuss that religion is a man-made phenomena. We will be talking about some theories of religion. Very lovely topic this is. Theories of religion. How one type of religion was present for 2000 years. Next 2000, another type comes. Next 2000, another type comes. Last type, there is no religion. So, theories of religion will be seen, and then you will be talking about some religious practices, such as what is animism, monoism, pluralism, sects, and cults. What are these different types of religious practices? If you are worshipping a soul, it is called as animism. If you are worshipping one God, it is called as monoism, monotheism. If you are worshipping multiple gods, it is called as polytheism, pluralism. Any religion, if it is creating some branches, it is known as sects. Today, in the name of religion, people will go to Babas. I love Babas because this is the only topic in religion we can make fun of. So, whether it is Asaram Bapa, Asaram Bapu, or it is Dera Baba, I love Dera Baba. Yeah, I really like him. Look at his charm, look at his heroic face, the way he comes. He makes movies also. I have watched his movies also. I have lot of kachra time to watch movies. So I watched Dera Baba movies. I took the torture for 3 hours. I test my patience. So here, cults is one topic. Why these cult figures are very popular today. Shri Shri Ravi Shankar, Jaggi Vasudev, Sadguru. If you look, all these cult phenomena. And then we talk about religion and science. So there are some topics how religion is compared with science, such as secularism, revivalism, fundamentalism. So, theories of religion, religious practices, religion and science, secularization, revivalism, fundamentalism are some of the topics that you are having in your Unit 8. Then you are having kinship and family systems. This particular topic of family and kinship system, I won't be doing in paper 1. I will be taking this topic with your paper 2, and the reason is very simple. I cannot explain you what is a Western family if I don't have an explanation of an Indian family. So I want to bring a contrast. So family and kinship it will be looked in the Unit 2 from the paper 2 part that you are having. So it will be seen in the paper 2 Indian sociology part. What is family, marriages, etc., kinship. And then the 10th unit is like the last unit of your paper 1. It is like others. It is like miscellaneous. We want to talk about other 2-3 institutions. We don't have space, we don't have time, we don't want to talk in detail. UPSC has just created a unit called as others. And all the other different institutions, the UPSC has put together. So here it talks about social changes in modern society. Consider it like others. So, the first part, it talks about theories of social changes. What are the different ways in which changes are studied? Unilinear patterns are there, cyclical patterns, we will talk about them. And then comes a system known as globalization. Do you think globalization is a good phenomena or a bad phenomena? Yes. What do you think, sir? Globalization is a good phenomena or a bad phenomena? Yes. Have you thought about it so much? Never? Never. What about you? Have you thought about globalization? Is a good phenomena or a bad phenomena? Yes, ma'am. It is an important phenomena. Bad important or good important? Both. What do you think? Same. Very good. What? Same. Tell me something, sir. What is that both? Why is it is a good? Why, you're telling no both. Why is it good? Why is it bad? Okay, globalization is a bad thing because it brings some environmental degradation, etc. Why is it a good thing, globalization? Hmm. Why is globalization a good thing? Anything good that happens because of globalization? Yes? We get to see some TOT takes place, transfer of technology takes place. Because of globalization, some machineries, some automation will come from another country, it will get established over here. Apple is telling no, we will put our industrial plant in India. Look at the big companies, they are trying to transfer the technologies in the name of globalization. Those sociologists who supports globalization, they are called to be as developmental theories. Those who criticize globalization as a negative thing, as a problematic thing, it is known as dependency theories. And then we are going to bring different factors which brings social changes, agents of social change. How are you changing as a person? Do you think, have you changed as a person in the last 5 years? Do you think you have changed as a person in the last 5 years? Look at your photo from 10th class. How did you find? Ooh, I look so much better now. I don't know how come we were even best friends at that time. Now I look so much better. Nobody likes their 10th photo. Nobody likes their Aadhaar card photo. We love our Instagram photo. There is a saying, no, we are not as bad as Aadhaar card, we are not as good as Instagram. Here, social media is changing you as a person every day. And there are different factors which are bringing those social changes. The two most important factors which will change you is education and social change. Science and technology and social change. So we will talk about different factors. Two factors we are going to pay a lot of attention. Education and social changes, science and technology and social changes. How social changes is coming in modern societies, theories, opinion and globalization. Pros of globalization, cons of globalization. Factors of social changes known as agents in that education, science and technology. Where? Oh. So we'll take a break for 5 minutes. But before that, just take an overview of what is the syllabus. Just take a look. I have taken the screenshots from the upsc.gov PDF itself. This is the screenshot. So please download the UPSC syllabus. Don't go for any institute. This is what we need. So Sociology, the discipline, three parts that we are having. Sociology as science, scientific method, major theoretical strands, positivism, fact, value. I told you, no, comma is not there. So fact, value and objectivity, non-positivist, research methods, practical part of a subject. Don't worry, I will give you the PDF of this. But if you still want to take photos of mine, I'll stand here nicely. Now you take photos. Don't take photos here. So, research method, qualitative, quantitative, techniques of data collection, all the thinkers that we are having, Marx, Durkheim, Weber, Parson, Merton, Mead. Fifth is stratification and mobility, concepts, theories, dimensions. Then you have got economic systems, polity, religion, etc. We will take a break and then we'll talk about paper 2, Indian sociology. We'll take a break for 7 to 8 minutes. If you remember, I told we will be starting our paper 1 from Thinkers, Unit 4. Why am I starting from Unit 4? Because I like it. Wait here. And also, that is how paper 2 begins. In the starting itself, after speaking little bit about the history, after speaking little bit about the history, if we directly go to the theoretical part, it will not be right. But rather, we are looking at some thinkers and their stories. The paper 2 also begins from the Indian thinkers. So here, the section A, Introduction to Indian thinkers. The way how paper 2 is created, the way how paper 1 is there, paper 2 is not created in the same way. Different reasons are there. I will tell you the reasons later on, not now. But the structure to your paper 1 is very nice. Unit 1, Unit 2, 3, 4. The demarcations are very clear. But for your paper 2, the structure is not very clear. One reason is the development of the subject did not take place like how it took place in Europe. How are you supposed to look at these Indian thinkers? They are like counterparts of the Western thinkers. For example, in the whole West, there is a concept called as Airbnb. What is the Indian version of Airbnb? Oyo. In the West, there is Uber. Indian version of that was Ola. Amazon was there. Indian version was the Flipkart. Same way, Western thinkers are Indianized over here. Like for example, if there is a father of sociology called as Auguste Comte, the Indian Auguste Comte is Govind Sadashiv Ghure. First person might not look very familiar to you because he is not very important in paper 1. But the second thinker is, he is an Indian Talcott person. The fourth thinker was the first American sociologist, Talcott Parson. The Indian Talcott Parson is M.N. Srinivas. Among all the 3 sociologists, we are having only 3 thinkers in paper 2. Among all the 3 sociologists, the most popular, rational, best academic understanding was associated with M.N. Srinivas. There are so many terms that we commonly use today. It was actually coined by M.N. Srinivas. Such as vote bank. Have you heard this word? Vote banks. dominant caste, westernization, Sanskritization. All these terms has actually been introduced by M.N. Srinivas in sociology. He is a student of G.S. Ghore. Every sociologist that you will see in paper 2 is 90% is a student of G.S. Ghore only. The third thinker is an Indian Karl Marx. His name is Akshay Ramanlal Desai, A.R. Desai. So, in your section A, first we will be talking about introduction to Indian thinkers, and then we will be talking about a colonial past. What is the recent history of India? Same way we were talking about the European history. Sociology as the academic discipline, modernity, social changes in Europe, emergence of sociology. This was the first topic of your Unit 1, Part A. Here, the colonial past is talking about what is the background of Indian nationalism. The topic is social background of Indian nationalism, and then you have a topic called as modernization of Indian traditions. It's a very nice topic. Modernization of Indian tradition. How Indian phenomena are moving towards modernity, yet they are holding back those traditions. If you look at a woman, she wants to go towards modernity, but she wants to keep the attires of kurtis. If you look at the foods are going towards westernization, but the Indian aspects will always be held to it. I want to eat cheese, but I want to eat cheese dosa. Ram ki bandi is there in Hyderabad. See, she knows. Ram ki bandi is there, and what does Ram Bhaiya sells? Cheese dosa. Double cheese dosa Ram Bhaiya. You are buying diseases with those dosas. Double cheese, what nonsense is this? Shezwan dosa, pizza dosa. If I say more, so here, but it is tasty. Modernization of Indian traditions, and then we are having protest and social movements and reforms. Both of them are the same topic. It is broken down. So the section A is divided into two parts: Indian thinkers and the recent history, colonial past. And then as we move forward from section A towards section B, as we go forward from section A to section B, what is this? This is true diagram. This is my India. Don't think it is like Kaju Katli. But if you look at India, it is divided into different structures. Different segments are present. For example, if I want to understand India, then I must divide India into different segments, such as some part of India, people are staying in rural places. So I will be trying to understand what is the meaning of the word rural India. To understand rural India or the Indian villages, I must pay attention to the concept of caste. Are you able to see? Not able to see. Wear proper specs. So first we are trying to divide India into different segments. A large part of India is staying in the rural centers. Another major part of India is staying in the urban centers. So therefore, if I want to understand 2/3 of India, I must study caste system. If I want to study 1/3 of India, I must study the urban societies. In urban society, there is an element of class system. Class means Double. Class means dividing the society on the basis of rokada, money. Here, urban societies are divided on the basis of class, rural societies are divided on the basis of caste, forest societies are associated on the basis of tribes, tribal communities. These are the topics that we are having. So we are creating segmentations of the section B. The section B stands for social structures. What is the section B all about? It is about social structures. So we divide the social structure into different segments. Another big segment that we are having is the element of family and kinship. Family means 4 or 5 members. Family means 20, 30 members, joint or nuclear. But there are certain members who are treated like family members, such as people from the same caste, people from distant relatives. Many friends will also become like family members. So a broader family concept is considered as kinship systems. And then we are having religious communities in India. How to study the Indian social structure? We divide it on the basis of geography. What is the meaning of the word Indian social structure? It means we are dividing the society into different structures. One is the geographical structures, rural, urban, tribal, and then family and kinship systems. I will be dealing this topic with unit 9 from the paper 1. And then you are having religious communities, problems of minorities, etc. And then comes the part C of paper 2. What is the part C? There is one good news about paper 2 and there is also one bad news. Do you want to know the good news first or do you want to know the bad news first? Why not optimistic? Tell me, sir, the good news first. No, tell the bad first. In the end, we'll have a good feeling. The bad news is the section C does not have any books to study. And the good news is the more better you prepare your GS2 and GS3, the more scoring this part will become for you. So the boundary of your section C is not well defined. In fact, how paper 1 is completely from books. Paper 2, section A and B is from books. And the part C, you will have some books, but questions will never come from the book. Why? Because section C is completely considered to be as a dynamic part of your syllabus. And what are these dynamic elements that we are having? Section C talk about social changes in India. How India is undergoing different changes. So we talk about, first of all, the vision of India. As soon as India gets independence, what was the vision that we established? Why did we become a mixed form of economy? How education system has brought some changes. We talk about the vision. Then we talk about how changes are brought. This whole unit is about social changes. So how changes are brought in rural and in agrarian transformations. This particular unit is how the India is changing. The section C is all dynamic part. Static part will be seen in the part B. The B is always about transformation. Instead of the word changes, they have used the word transformation. And then once you have studied the rural and the agrarian transformation, and then you go and study the urban and industrial transformation, how urbanization is changing, what are the negative phenomena, what are the positive phenomena of urbanization and industrialization. Then the most important part that you're having in your section C is social movements in India. I want you to purchase this book written by Ghanshyam Shah. All the different types of social movements are discussed. What are the social movements? We will be talking about agrarian social movements. Agrarian movements are divided. Agrarian movements are divided into peasant movements, farmer movements. Both together are called as agrarian movements. And then what are the different women movements in India? What are the movements on the basis of caste, such as Dalit movement, OBC movement? What are environmental movements? And then we talk about ethnic and identity movements. So different movements are there. It's a very interesting topic, and it is also a very important topic. So you're having social movements in India. The word is not agrarian movements in your syllabus. In your syllabus, it is peasant and farmer movements. I have clubbed both of them and I have written agrarian movements. And then you have the most highly achievement topic in paper 2, and that is India and its population. I waited for 15-20 years. When will India beat China? Like this it was. Like this all the while. But finally, when COVID-19 came, you bring lockdown, and India beats China. Now we are much ahead in the race. Thank you to Dadaji, Dadima, for the population of 1.45 billion that we are creating. We'll keep going. Laddus will keep on coming. Don't worry. So here, what are the challenges? If this population is healthy and well connected, well employed, well educated, we are going to get demographic dividend. If this population is not able to yield the benefits, it will turn into a demographic dividend will turn into a demographic disaster. So what are the challenges that we are having because of population, and what are the challenges of social transformation? We will be looking your paper 2 syllabus looks like this. Indian society, structure and changes. Introduction to Indian society. We have thinkers over here. G.S. Ghure, M.N. Srinivas, A.R. Desai are the three thinkers that you are having. Impact of colonial rule on Indian society. Social background of Indian nationalism. Modernization of Indian tradition. Protest movements during colonial period and reforms. And then we try to study one part. Villages is not there, so we have got village studies, caste systems. Most important topic in your paper 2 is caste systems, tribal communities, social changes in India, systems of kinship, religious. I have taken a direct screenshot, so I want you to download the PDF. Social changes, visions of social India, rural agrarian transformation, industrialization, urbanization. And then you have got polity, social movements, dynamics, etc. Please don't talk. Aha. Yes. So, yes. Looking at we'll finish the class in 10 minutes. Looking at our today's session, we have divided our class into three parts. First of all, I wanted to discuss about what is the meaning of the word sociology. It means a scientific attempt to understand society. And what is society? Society is a cluster of different institutions. Right now you are sitting in the educational institutions. If you went to the chaiwala, you were a part of economic institutions. If you open the newspaper, you belong to the political institutions. You give a call to your family, you will be associated to kinship systems. A society is made up of different institutions. We try to understand what is the syllabus of sociology. Now comes the part. Why are we supposed to opt? So, here, if you look, the birth of Western sociology has happened in the last 150 years. The birth of Indian sociology has happened in the last 75 years. 20 years back, the father of Indian sociology has passed away. So, it has got a short duration, therefore, it is having a short syllabus. One of the reasons. Next, sociology will create an overlap into a lot of GS areas. For example, if you look at one institution, Unit 6, we are talking about economic systems. Unit 7 talks about the polity systems. So in this way, you will have a combination. There is a dependency that you are having on the GS part. In fact, there is no proper book for your section C in paper 2. So here, one reason is we are having a good overlap. Moreover, there are multiple toppers who have come. No facts, no concepts. This point I love about sociology. If you are coming to this subject thinking that you are going to learn some facts and write down, sorry, there are no facts in this subject. Even if you write facts, it is not required. It will be additional, it will be unnecessary. This whole subject is built on those people who can think. If your imagination is good, if you can think, be curious, because when I say the word family system, I might not be having a picture to show you. So you have to imagine what a family is. You have to imagine the concept of God. You have to see what is the capitalism. There is no photo of capitalism. What is capitalism? It's an ideology of profit orientation. So in sociology, we have got no facts, no concepts. So this subject is highly opinionated. You need to build your opinions. On that only you will be writing your answers. So you can have your own opinions. Moreover, this particular subject has got a huge resource. Because once you get out of the class, you need some resources from the free market. So Telegram channels, YouTube, free mentorship programs, number of test series from Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, etc. So digital era will also bring you a lot of resources. Moreover, this subject will also provide you a lot of mentors. Many toppers are there who have cleared. Those who have not cleared, they can be good mentors to you. They have written 2 mains. They can provide you good mentorship. So guidance, these are some of the reasons. In my opinion, I like the 4th one. Because it's not a factual subject. It's not like geography. It's not like polity. You learn something like articles, etc. This subject is built on opinions. And then the last part is The most important resource that how do you study is Indira Gandhi National Open University books. There are books for your paper 1 and paper 2, and these are called as ESO 11 to 16. We label the IGNOU books in this manner: ESO 11, ESO 12, 13. ESO 11 is Introduction to Indian Society. ESO 16 is Social Problems of India. ESO 14, it is about thinkers. So like this, ESO 11 to 16 are the books from where you prepare, and once you have done with these resources, there is a popular reference material called as Harlambo's. Different editions are there, green, purple, etc. You need to buy the blue edition of Harlambo's. It's a reference material. You don't have to read this book. If you are not able to understand a topic from IGNOU, you want a more better grip for paper 1, Harlambo's is a good source. Apart from this, I don't usually recommend, but some students will come and tell, sir, should I read NCRTs? I will say, if you want to read, read it. If you don't want to read it, skip it. Directly start from your IGNOU. So paper 1 will have IGNOU, Harlambo's and NCRTs. And on the other side, in the paper 2, we are having IGNOU. And to study Indian thinkers, we have a book written by B.K. Nagla, Indian Sociological Thought, by a sociologist named B.K. Nagla. And then Indian Social System, Social Problems of India. Both of these books are written by a sociologist known as Ram Ahuja. So the Ram Ahuja books is also important for your general studies, GS1 as well. We also use those same resources for your sociology as well. So what are the resources that you read for your paper 2? IGNOU books, same, ESO 11 to 16 is for both the papers. Harlambo's for paper 1, NCRTs if you want to use, optional it is. IGNOU books will be used. Indian thinkers are there from B.K. Nagla. Indian Social System by Ram Ahuja. Social Problems of India by Ram Ahuja. Here are the books that you are having. So in today's class, we have not discussed any particular topic. We wanted to get a wholesome idea of what is sociology. And before we begin by talking about the history of the subject or the thinkers, it is important that you understand the boundaries. The more clear you remember the syllabus, the more better you can analyze while doing a newspaper reading whether this topic is relevant to me or not. Whenever you're reading current affairs, to evaluate whether what I should take into the optional paper. So if you come and ask me, sir, how to read the newspaper for optional subject, I am going to ask you back, do you remember the complete syllabus nicely or not? So today, sit down, look at the syllabus carefully, look at the question paper that was asked 4 or 5 months back, then make an evaluation. Am I able to understand the syllabus? If you are getting some curiosity to learn more in these dimensions, then sociology can be your cup of tea. But if you find hard to imagine, if you cannot build your own opinions, you want to look for facts, then sociology is not your cup of tea. So today homework, it is going to be about read the syllabus 2-3 times before going to sleep. Read the question paper 2-3 times before you come for tomorrow's class. Tomorrow we will be talking about the beginning of sociology, how sociology started its journey from 15th century to 19th century. And then after that, we will be starting from our first thinker, that is Karl Marx. So I'll see you tomorrow at same time, 2:30. Have a nice day. All the best.